away by that amount of trips. So we're not looking at the upgrading the road within your standard 10 to 20 years. We're actually extending it to maybe 20 to 30 years.
And likewise with energy, if another assumption that we considered that didn't get into this model, that might get into a future upgrade, would be identifying industry standards for electrical usage, and then maybe what the assumption would be if they apply LEED standards. So you would ratchet down that energy consumption a little bit, identify what the variations would be. But let's see, no. So I'm going to save this. So what we've done again is we've identified a scenario that seems realistic, that meets the goals of the community. We can either view it here in 2 dimensions, or else move it over to another application which has 3D potential. This one I did a little preparation.
Ugly buildings, they need new colors.
I'm going to come back to this
Some windows.
And some windows, yeah.
and show you that right here.
And cupolas.
This is what we had just done.
These are the buildings that we just threw in.
Go.
This yellow is the Pettingill Road, and then these are the 2
Green
the
room.
warehouses, but the two hotel facilities.
That's my hotel?
Okay,
I
and then
like
here's
that. I want a
the
purple
manufacturing
hotel.
facility.
Oh, I have a blue hotel.
So what you're able to do is pan around, right, and then see the buildings in the context
How come these people don't have any windows?
of.
We haven't done advanced modeling. This was a quick get it together so you can show you some
Can you
basic
do
3D.
windows and all kinds of good?
If it's worth the time, yeah. You see they're complaining.
We
And-
don't
and
want
little-
them to see where they are.
And little windows and people in the windows waiting?
Those are really
Yeah, we'll have that next year.
What could go where, you know?
Mary's gonna wanna see a sign model
tax
too,
base was gonna-
to see how big the sign goes with the building.
But what we wanted to illustrate with this is the potential of this program. I mean, every time I go to a conference and I
They can put
always
trees
attend one
up
of
and
these
cars.
things, I
They
said,
got
you know,
little
John,
trees.
guess what I saw? You know, and he said, you know, we can do that. And
This is the pre-done example that John had put together before we came down here tonight.
and it gets to
The
John's
trees
point.
are, they got trees? Do you
Yeah,
have
so
any
what I did,
lilacs?
this-
That when you sit
Purple
down
lilacs.
with people who are interested in this
Purple
area,
lilacs.
boy, it'd be nice
work
to
those
see,
in.
show a 3D model.
Those darn
You
purple
can even,
lilacs.
you can
John's
even
getting
dress up
mad
those
at
buildings
us.
to how you want them. I mean, it takes a little bit more time and energy to do that, but it gives people a little bit more information from which to make a decision than just the static 2-dimensional.
Oh,
So,
a fence? Look at that. That's pretty.
And then,
That's
so what
just-
we've
that's
added in
traffic
here, this is following the
Yeah.
contour. You can see
Oh, no,
this
those
is
are
up on a little
lights.
bit of a
I'm sorry.
rise. And then we've added in, just took about 15 minutes before the meeting. We're pulling the buildings up. This is Harvey Industries, so it's the actual height of the building. These are roughly, I think, 3-story office buildings, and then we've added,
Gargantuan trees.
yeah, just big monster redwood trees. And then vehicles. And you'll see the vehicles are
They are
roughly the
big
scale.
trees, if you think of it.
Okay,
Not
so
purple.
again, a real context of what you might be seeing out there.
Very cool.
Wow.
And again, it's all part of the
That's
community
the
biz application.
technology
This
at work.
is, would be real fun. It'd take a whole night just to design that whole area, you know?
Okay.
but what we see the applications, at least immediately, is that, you know, I think we already have a group, a task force around economic development. And this might be a good tool to bring into that group to really look at this area, because obviously we see this as being the potential that we think it has. It'd be nice to maybe put something together like this along with our marketing strategy. We're upgrading the website, and we're looking to create a market. Imagine this being on the website as a fly-through through our industrial zone, as people are looking to see
So
what
people
Londonderry
could get
has
in
to
there and
offer.
play on their own and build their own complex.
Well, actually, I'll draw that back. They wouldn't be able to go in and play and draw their own complexes. That would be something that probably we would do in maybe a task force group, or internally, again, with a one-on-one basis, because it does need someone to manage the software. But we certainly do have the ability, once a site has been created and laid down, to record the fly-through, so that you could put up a WAV file online, so that so as part of the marketing effort, it might be a fly-through, or else simple graphic images. These
And
graphics are far better.
You could
than
keep it updated as
out there
things
presently.
came in, so people would know what was coming in, and they could see that and all, yeah.
Well, I think the goal is more conceptual.
Right, but even once,
Certainly
once
possible.
this, yeah, once it starts getting developed, I think it'd be incredible to be able to put those in there and have that as the tool. This is what's already there. Look at the space that's still available to you.
Yeah.
And it
when
would-
we involve all the
somebody
landowners,
just-
this is what they can put in there, so they gotta get an idea.
But they would
Because-
also see
because I-
what's
I-
already there,
Yeah,
too.
because I think they're gonna need
Right,
some help,
and
you know,
look how
on
this will
how to really
complement
develop their
this.
properties.
Yeah, and there's no doubt in my mind that this is the direction that GIS is going, that, that ultimately it will be in a 3D environment. We're not at that, just not there yet. And I can't give you a timeline. I would love to do it, believe me, I would be thrilled to do it. But I think for the foreseeable future, we'll stick in 2D and
Selective.
selective, correct.
So, so you would be able to get this going right away? It's available now, right?
Yeah, basically, if we were to, you know, if the task force or some other group wanted to sit down and start looking at this, we have the means of what we put before you before is done. It's just a matter of us.
Why would we need a task force?
No, what I'm saying is that there's a group already organized, whether or not it's that group or a different group, because we have an economic development task force that's in the process of interviewing firms for marketing firms. But if that's the same group that can, you know, starts thinking about how, you know, we want to
You
see
got a new
the
job.
airport
You
area
get to
grow,
make all the little
there's a
buildings.
tool by which we can do that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely fits right in with marketing and.
The marketing.
Because, you know, it's like a vision we have for that area, which probably help, another thing to help the landowners, what's our vision, you know,
Yeah,
what's gonna be.
or the planning board, if we can come, if you're interested in doing a workshop just on this alone, then we can do that
Probably
as
be
well.
best if the board wants to do it, it might be better to do it in a subcommittee type of approach, so we can do it outside of this room, and we're
Yeah.
around a computer screen, around a table, it'd be a little bit easier to
Everybody
manage
gets their own
things.
little, I think everybody should get their own computers, so they can make their own place.
I think we'll need more licenses, Kevin.
Maybe we could take that from the
And I think
cable
everybody will
fund.
need
Rob the cable fund again?
and I think everybody will need a John sitting
Undesignated
right
fund
next to them,
balance, here we come.
so they know what they're doing.
This isn't quite as easy as just playing in map tools.
I know.
No, I'm sure it's not.
But probably with the, you know, I think something like this is too formal environment for really getting in and doing some brainstorming and how.
Yeah, and that's why I was just speaking to, is
Yeah.
that I think it's more apt for a smaller group to really look at a
Yeah,
scenario.
probably with a
and then-
smaller group, and I think any interested people also, you know, so we can kind of stand around the computer and, or sit around the computer. But, fantastic
In terms
job.
In terms of how this relates to the drafting of the FI district, I wanted this to at least be shown to you so that we have this tool that we can use for planning purposes. And whether or not it makes sense to do some of these scenarios with the Economic Development Task Force before I get back into really drafting the hard language of the ordinance, I think that might be something we want to have the
I think
task
we
force
have
take
to
a look
look at
at
what
before
can-
I come back to you with some amended
Yeah, I
language.
think we have to see what can fit there before we really get into,
Only makes sense to me.
final parts of the ordinance.
Okay. I like
Yeah.
that.
So if the board is comfortable with that direction, I will hold off on scheduling anything on FI for next month to allow the task force and John and Andre to come up with, do some scenario planning and see if we can then work that into how we need to shape the ordinance moving
Yeah,
forward.
I think that's a good plan. Board like that?
Young kids. I like that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.